guys, Dory Peterson, Rebel Food Nurse. So this video is just going to be a little bit about a clean cookie. I have a few different ones, but two staples that I make all the time basically include some type of nut butter, whether it's almond butter or peanut butter. Either one is fine. If it's going to be peanut butter, make sure it's organic. And just know that if you struggle with inflammatory issues, that peanut butter is definitely, it's more inflammatory. So you're better off to go with a different type of nut butter, like a cashew butter or an almond butter. I love almond butter. So, but this is a super clean cookie. For those of you who follow me, you know that I've talked about the protein bites, or sometimes I call them protein delights, very frequently. And this is kind of a spin-off from that, really. It's a little bit, really all I've really added to it, other than what's in the staple protein bites, is egg and a little tiny bit of coconut sugar. And that can be added or not added. In this case, I added a little bit of it just today because I made them, but just to sweeten it a little bit more. Just for my own liking, because I felt like I wanted a little bit of a sweeter cookie. So I'm going to show you the consistency of these right now. So this right here, all this is, and I'll post the recipe below, but the outcome is this. It's a very dense cookie. These are not really the most beautifully shaped cookies because I kind of just, you know, threw my dough down on a stone. I used like a pizza stone, which I often use to bake cookies, just a pizza stone. And all this is, I'm going to show you the consistency of the batter. All this is peanut butter, in this case organic peanut butter. I got this at Aldi. I actually use the entire thing. And I just kind of winged the recipe, to be honest with you, because that's what I do with most. That's why I don't put out a lot of recipes, because I usually just mix a lot of this and that. I'm going to give you kind of a look at a little bit of what's left in here, though. So it's a very transparency looking dough because it doesn't have flour in it. Technically, it has an oat flour in it because I ground up some oats. But all this recipe is, and again, I will post it below. I'll post it with the video. But this recipe is really super simple. All it is you're taking about a cup. Sometimes I measure a little bit more than a cup of oats. I take half of that, and you can do either or. You can grind half of it up if you want a little bit of a smoother cookie, which I did today. You can grind that up. So I ground up half a cup of oats, and then I added another half, kind of a larger half of oats. But the base recipe is a whole container of this, which is what I made, which is about 2 cups of peanut butter, 3 or 4 eggs, and you can do either. I did this, I only had 3 eggs, so I used 3 eggs with this. About a tablespoon of vanilla, and half a cup of maple syrup. And I also sprinkled in just a little tiny bit, because again, I wanted them a little bit sweeter this time. I sprinkled in a little tiny bit of this coconut sugar. And when I say a little tiny bit, the spoon that's in there, I literally just used 2 little spoonfuls of coconut sugar. Sprinkled in there. And I blended that on high for just a couple minutes. It actually becomes very creamy. With the eggs and the peanut butter, it literally turns into a very creamy consistency. And then literally all you're doing is adding about I think it was a half teaspoon, I'll check the measurements, half teaspoon of baking soda, or I'm sorry, baking powder. I added about 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt, and chocolate chips, 2 handfuls. So you see how my ingredients go. That's why I infrequently post recipes, and when I do, I have got to, you know, be sure that I've measured them out perfectly so you guys can recreate what I've created in the kitchen. The great thing is when you start to learn using simple ingredients in everything, you can find base recipes for so much and make food taste so good, and yet it's very clean. It's a very clean consistency, just like these are. So all this is eggs, oats, a little bit of maple syrup, a couple tablespoons full of some coconut sugar. And again, you don't even need that. I wanted a sweeter cookie this time just because I was having a real big sweet tooth craving tonight. And some dark chocolate chips. I use these. These are Ghirardelli dark chocolate, 60%. And bitter chocolate. And that's really eggs, oats. That's it. Very, very simple. And you can see the opaque consistency because see how it looks just like basically peanut butter. And so all you're doing is you're putting that onto a stone. You're baking that at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes. I cooked these for about 10. And what I did actually, again, just because I in particular wanted a sweeter cookie tonight, is I sprinkled the tops of these cookies. They come out like these mounds right here. I sprinkled the top of this cookie with a little bit of coconut sugar and some sea salt. Yummy. And you can see in the middle of these how dense they are, like how they're just so much goodness. Talk about a massively protein cookie. Massive protein right there because it's just mostly peanut butter and eggs and a little bit of oats. There's not even a ton of oats in this cookie. Super clean. And that's it. That's basically the clean cookie right here, the clean chocolate chip cookie in a nutshell. And thanks for watching. I will post the recipe for you so you can try them on your own. Play with it a little bit. Add some different stuff to it. It's a very base recipe, so you can play with even the amount of eggs in it or the amount of peanut butter or almond butter, whatever type of nut butter that you choose to use. And yeah, I mean, it's just super easy. These are like the fastest cookies ever to make. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like it, love it, share it. Let me know how you like the recipe. It's super easy. Add some chia seed to it. Add some, whatever you want. Add some whole flax would be great. There's so many different things you can do when you've got a really basic staple recipe like this cookie. And keep it clean. The ingredients matter. The ingredients mean everything, you know. Chocolate chip cookies are not all equal. It matters what we're putting in our bodies, that it either makes us or breaks us. It either gets us healthier or it contributes to our disease. And so think about that and message me if you want to learn about my RebelFoodNurse food training and food prep program. I run them every single month at the beginning of the month. I run small groups of people. Usually there's only about 10 to 12 people per group. And we keep our settings small. We meet weekly in group session. And there's a series of videos that you get to watch every single week, teaching you all of these skills that it took me years and years to learn. So the next group, again, will be starting on the 1st of the month. That's what I always do. And so they are booked ahead. So if you're interested, send me a message. My email is on here. Send me a message below or find me on Facebook and shoot me a message on Facebook. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and let me know how you like the cookie. You guys have a great day.